starting next year, 2023, this semester coming up, who will you be playing for?
I'll be going to Colorado.
You go to University of Colorado?
University of Colorado.
Coach Prime, you did it 2 years in a row.
2 years, Coach Prime.
The Buffs, 2 years in a row. Coach Prime got the #1 player
Defensive back
in the country.
Yes.
2 years in a row. What made you choose
Colorado? Why was it important for you to pick Colorado and Coach Prime?
All right, in my position, I play DB, so Coach Prime, he's the best DB. I just want to be in the same shoes, same predicament, gold jacket, everything. Get coached by the best DB and the best DB, or not.
Mom, as a parent, this recruiting process was very intensive for you guys. What made you comfortable with all the options that you have for your son settle on the University of Colorado?
I feel like God does things for a reason. So when Colorado came in, they kept it 100 with us the whole time. I didn't have to second guess it. I felt like it was more real. Not saying no other people are real. I'm just saying the feeling that you have when you know it's the right feeling. But yeah, we're ready.
Guys, I'm going to ask this to both of you. There's always going to be a lot of rumors and a lot of haters that say this was about NIL money. That's why this decision was made. How would the both of you address that? Mom, I'll start with you.
Well, first of all, if it was about the money, we could have signed anywhere else, So the feeling, like I said, that I had when I was around these people, and they've treated us like family. I just felt like we belong here. So that has nothing to do with it.
If it was about the money, Ruiz had them bees. That's what she wanted to say. 786-405-9499. We're going to get down with IOD Squad. It's finally over. It finally has happened. I look like little Gray Robin Hood. Bring my boy Richie here. It's finally over. It finally has happened. Cormani McClain, #1 cornerback in the nation, flips to Colorado. Y'all heard the trumpet sounds. Last one was what? Jaden Rashada, when Jaden Rashada flipped on us, and everybody was going crazy at 1 o'clock in the morning.
That boy done gone up to glory.
Mm-hmm. Listen, man, 70% likes, and we'll open up the comment section for everybody, bro. Sad day in Kane's world. Sad day in Kane fandom. I see my boy KB in the back. I'm gonna bring KB in a second.
Hey, get those likes up. Get those likes up for real. 200 watching. We got 45 likes.
#1 cornerback in the nation, committed to Miami for maybe what, three months or so, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Was committed for maybe 3 months, something like that. Had him locked in, won a DVD on the field, and what was our ace in the hole, or what was an asset became a liability.
Yeah. What
was an asset became a liability. And that's on numerous fronts. We're gonna talk about it in the villain section, the member section. Some stuff can be talked about out loud. But what was an asset became a liability when Mom was really close to DVD. Alabama snuck in and said, "Hey, you want DVD? Not even on the field. You're not even gonna be coaching your son." Which was like the quickest, the banana in the tailpipe, like some, you know what I'm saying? And that's when all the questions started. You ain't on the field, like we don't really even know what on the field mean. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And that's when all the question, all the doubt started. And there was some other stuff in the background. I heard some miscommunication about some things. And then Deion jumped in. And much as I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear it, watching that boy commit with Gillie the kid and Wallow on $1 million worth of game
felt like home.
all family. I don't even know who that was in the background, but all his people in the background. Deion is giving a lot of value to these kids. You know what I'm saying? Right up front. And it's not the old, well, you ain't did nothing yet, boy, you got to earn it. It's not that rigmarole. And then let CBS put them on a commercial.
Right.
Cormani McClain versus Jeremy Smith Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Miami versus, but he ain't did nothing yet. Right. Deion saying, huh, man, this is what you are, man. This is, $1 million worth of game, destroying, using his resources, use it. Listen, man, he's laying it out for everybody. Kind of like the plan. It was kind of like the plan we went in. We talked to Mario about last year. Hey, listen, we could talk to the community a little better than. I think we should be kind of part of the team. It's the same thing we walked in there and talked to Mario about. Deion is using it to his. He's using his resources. He's giving kids value. He's giving people around him value. I'm gonna bring my boy KB in here. And he does it again, 2 times in a row. He's, hey, listen, I'm the best cornerback ever played a game. I can teach your kid how to play cornerback. Then all you gotta do is ask him, hey, well, what happened to your other son? He ain't great. You want to flip it on him, and he got your genes. If you want to flip it on him, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Because that's the narrative he's giving. But I really do believe Deion is a great example for him and Travis Hunter. I do. When it comes to business and things of that nature, because a lot of these kids are missing a lot of those things. There's too much to say, man. KB, what's up, bro?
What's good, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up?
Chilling, man. Everything good.
Patrick Andrew says it's not a sad day. Patrick Andrew, this is entertainment, bro. It's not a sad day. Miami, it is a sad day. We could have had the #1 cornerback in the nation, but Miami put in a hell of a class, and them boys are putting work in right now on campus. You know what I'm saying? So it's like oh. Rich man, what's your take?
Listen, Miami got to get to the point. Miami got to get to the point where they actually just winning and whooping people on field, and then there's less games that they have to play. Like trying to get Cormani, it was gonna end up being a game that you had to play, which is all fair. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody be mad at Cormani or Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Wish the young man the best. But there was a game that was gonna have to be played. But the better you are, the more you don't have to play that game. Because you see Saban and them, they stuck their toe in the water or say what they had to say, but they wasn't going to play the game because they don't have to. So once again, Miami is his own worst enemy. We got to get out of our own way. So.
Right.
I don't think we really you're always going to have obstacles that come up when you're going towards whatever your goals are. And that obstacle, that Deion Sanders obstacle, you got to let him have one, especially, when the kid plays the same position that he played. I mean, that might happen. However, that doesn't necessarily change your focus. I mean, we got great DBs into the program now. And I think what you got to do is you got to hit the ground running with winning every aspect of the game. Coaches always say this: win every aspect of the game: offense, defense, special teams, weight room, going to class, all that. All right. So for coaches, how do you win all aspects of the game? Number one, you got to win on the field. You got to win in recruiting. You got to win in the staff that you put around players. And then you got to win in the culture as well. So whatever is prominent in the culture, like back in the day, you had people like Bosworth and the way that they looked and the way they wore their hair and so on and so forth. And then it was the culture. You got to get with the culture too. Because I really do think, to your point, Street, with what having him around destroying and having him around $1 million worth of game, and putting him, rubbing shoulders with those guys who are multimillionaires already, and for him to be around those guys, for him to be on their platform, media is changing. And I think that these are all things you got to adapt to. You at all facets of the game, you got to win. You don't know when you're going to win your next championship. You really don't. But you can make sure, just like Oregon did when they started making all them wacky color uniforms, you could do something that sparks, initiates culture once again back into your program, swag back into your program. So, I mean, we invented swag, so let's go get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna bring my boy Medi in here. I mean, the bottom line, man, the elephant listen, man, the bottom line, the elephant in the room is that a large percent, 70% likes, and we'll open up the comment section. We get the 70% likes, y'all out there, we'll open up the comment section for everybody. But for now, it's the villains. You can become a member, like iPit just did. Shout out to iPit. But the bottom line is, man, 60%, 70%, 60% of college athletes, football players are black. And for a long time, we walk around here ignoring it like it doesn't matter. When I became the media, I tell this story all the time. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand what the word media meant. But I had one conversation with somebody from one of these prominent media sources, and it instantly told me what my value was and what I had. And that was, I related to the kids, the family, where they come from. When they spoke to me, they let their guard down. They trusted me. Deion is recruiting with all that and a goddamn gold jacket. If you think it's a game, because he's woke everybody like, hey, wait a minute now. Like, we got little bags, but also, I understand, Mom. And when he say he understands, it's different. When I sit next to a kid and talk to him, when I talk to Bane, it's different. Y'all see the interview, it's different. And he's using it like a weapon. And I don't know, maybe Dabo and God can rival it or what, you know what I'm saying? But he is definitely using it, dog. I'm gonna bring my boy Medi in here. I thought I brought you in here already, Medi. My bad. What's going on, bro?
Oh, Medi, what's up? You got me in the damn back. Let me get closer to the mic again. Case fans, are y'all done? Y'all good? This thing on? Y'all ready to let it go now? Okay. Just making sure. Rich talked about it. I've said in the past, like I said, I don't think it's something that can be overlooked or understated. The three corners we bought in this class are just fine. I've already said on multiple occasions, stop letting these recruiting services who don't even know what they want to call him after the commitment. 3 days ago, it's like, oh, we dropping in like a 4-star and da-da-da-da-da. And then today is, oh, he's a 5-star. It's like, y'all don't even know what y'all want to do. So I don't let this stuff bother me. I've been said it. 23-6 and on -3. They are the catalyst for driving the emotions that have y'all tripping about some of these guys. And in reality, they don't matter, right? It's really as simple as that. Shout out to the kid, you know what I'm saying? I hope he does well. You know what I'm saying? I got both Brown brothers, and I'm completely okay with that. Robert Stafford, I'm completely okay with that. Chris Graves, Harris. You heard Cam Kitchen on this platform say they next. Markeith Williams. I'm good with our DBs, but too often we get caught up pocket watching and getting everybody. Don't let some of these other platforms that be having dudes freaking out because a 17-year-old kid didn't commit on signing day. Don't let them get your panties all in a bunch because it really ain't that serious. Take it for what it is. Shout out to Deion. Shout out to all that. He got a long road ahead of him. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Deion and the kid, Cormani. Y'all about to see a real live example of how Rome wasn't built in a day. JSU wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? It took him getting some people, and you have to figure it out very quickly that be careful what you ask for. Now that's not no shade. It's not no hate. Be careful what you ask for. You want that P5 opportunity. You want an opportunity to come up, play with the big dogs, coach with the big dogs. Understand. Utah ain't gonna start being sorry next year. You think you got USC for one more season, or they leave next year?
I think they got them for one more season.
You got USC and UCLA for one more season. Oregon is not going anywhere anytime soon. Mario Ben built something up over there that Dan Lanning just piled on top of. So understand, and then Washington is always going to be tricky.
Always.
The Pac-12 is not something that you just simply look past and think like, "Well, I'm gonna come in here from day one and dominate like it's the swag." No, it's not. But this ain't necessarily a Cormani channel, right? It's a Hurricane channel, so I'm focused on what we got. Focused on what we got. I'm focused on what's in our locker room. And that's all that matters, man. Shout out to Cormani.
You on the road, dog. You on the road, dog.
Shout out to Cormani. Shout out to his mom. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it pushing. I just feel like it just
you
really
on the road,
jammed
dog.
the
That's what they want to hear. Shout out to FAMU King. Shout out to FAMU
King.
King.
Become a member, man.
Y'all go to the community section so y'all can get in the group me. You on the road, dog. I mean, that's what they want to hear. I mean, the Canes are fine. Recruiting class, they've
been fine.
What's the saying? They outpunted their coverage in recruiting this year.
Man, Miami's recruiting class and the number of wins we have are the same number.
The Canes are fine. I would love to have seen Cormani come here.
Yeah, hey, Don makes a good point. I didn't understand what he said at first, but like, yeah, being in Colorado, you have to figure out. I think I'll give Deion credit. I think he's a good nationwide recruiter, but once again, we don't know what a full recruiting cycle looks like underneath. It's Colorado at the end of the day, right? It's not like he's in a fertile recruiting landscape. I don't even know what states are next to Colorado. California ain't. Is Colorado's in mountain or Pacific?
Yeah, Utah. Mountain? I think Utah is it's it's mountain time. Mountain time. So 2 hours behind.
Well, it's an hour for me because I'm central. But
gotcha.
Yeah, he gotta figure out how to recruit Colorado for one, as I would call them the flagship school in the state. The transfer portal only get you so far, right? Shout out to what he's doing, with the high school kids. You know what I'm saying, getting this Cormani, that's a big deal. That defensive core, like I said, is going to be able to make some moves for him, definitely. But you still got to sell Colorado, right? They don't have a winning culture. And you got to kind of sell like Mario in year one at Miami. But Miami has a winning culture. Miami has an excellent climate year round. It's one of those things where it's like, it's easy to pocket watch and look at what he's got and say, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get to be on this and all that. But the problem with having all those cameras around, sometimes you get to see, sometimes you allow the media to show parts of you that you didn't necessarily want to come out, right? The perfect situation, the Mark Pope thing, right? So Mark Pope now is getting ready to go to UMass or something like that?
UMass, yeah.
And we have a whole bunch of like feelings about Mark Pope, me included as a fellow high school alum with him. But if he goes out and balls out at UMass, right, gets the opportunity, goes to the combine, balls out, it's gonna be a lot of people kind of scratching their head looking at that situation and being like, maybe that wasn't the maybe everything we saw wasn't as the way Amazon or Barstool, whoever covering it may have put it, right? So it's gonna be interesting in a couple months, man. I wouldn't be hung up on this. Like I said, I'm worried about Miami. I need to know who our OC is gonna be. If Gaddis is staying, I really hope it's not Willie Taggart.
You okay, Matty dog? You need a hug, dog? You all right?
Oh, I'm straight. I'm good.
Sound like you got about a bum right there. You just venting right now, dog. You just
no. I just want everybody to understand that it's not as grim as it seems, right? It seems grim. It's like, man, we lost on this dude.
Not grim at all.
Yeah,
it's not grim at all. I mean, we lost somebody we probably shouldn't have had. That we were all surprised. Oh my God. But I mean, recruiting is fluid, and it's a battle. It's definitely a fight. I know for a fact Miami thought they were in a fight the last couple of days. When Cormani McClain came back, they reached out, they talked to Miami. They thought they was in a fight. But I mean, what they're up against with the cornerback and gold jacket and him being the head coach and him being right there, the head coach telling the mom, I got your son. You know what I'm saying? Right there, telling the mom, I got your son. He's straight over here, whether you come or not. It's powerful, and I think Mario them up to I think they're up to the task of rivaling. I mean, Mario ain't taking a backseat to nobody in recruiting. You win some, you lose some. We won Malgore, we won Pimble, we took him from Michigan, and you're gonna lose some.
You won Fletcher, took him from Ohio State.
Yeah, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. You're gonna win some of the battles, you're gonna lose some of the battles.
I've said before, man. Recency.
One second, man. Shout out to Damian Kramer, man, for becoming a member. Shout out to Damian Kramer for becoming a member. Let me see. Check this. How many likes we got, Rich?
144. We need like 250.
144. Wow. Okay.
Hold on. Someone did Jake Garcia transfer to Florida?
So listen, once we get to 70% likes, we'll open up the chat for everybody. All y'all gotta do is hit the like button. Did he?
Somebody just said in the comment.
Where you getting that from? Group me?
Somebody just said in the comment.
On the comment section?
Say, what's up, fellas? Why the F?
Oh.
Jake Garcia transferring to Death Row Records, aka Florida.
Death Row Records. Death Row Records. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Did that really happen?
Death Row Records. Well, I'm sure Cormani McClain is trending again. His Twitter still say Miami.
Someone said on Twitter, don't forget to take your follow back. That's funny as hell.
Somebody saying Jake want to be the greatest starting quarterback. I can't believe this is how I found. Let's see. Miami quarterback Jake Garcia enters the transfer portal. Nah, I don't see anything out there. Why is Vince Young trending? What the hell?
Oh yeah, I see that too. Maybe it's comeback in the XFL. No, I'm just kidding.
Huh?
Why is he trending?
Why is he trending? Y'all want to see Ja'Cory Brown? Y'all want to see the future of Miami football, dog?
What you mean?
4th and 5, the national championship on the line right here. He's going for the corner. He's got it. Vince Young scores.
Where were you? Where were you when that happened? Y'all, who remembers what it was?
What was that? 2004?
Boy, I'm.
I don't know where.
My brain does not.
I don't know where I was. I don't know where I was, but I was watching. I think that was like 06, wasn't it?
Yeah. Where were you? Where were you when that happened? Where were you sitting at that right then at that point when that happened?
I think I was at home screaming
I
and
was watching
shouting.
on TV.
Yep.
Vincent Young so much, bro.
As we said, Keith, you
I
can
thought it was Vince
make
Young,
the
6'11".
Me too.
You can
You say that was the greatest one ever?
To me,
KD, hold
no,
up,
the greatest one to me, yeah, most definitely.
Was
Hmm?
it? Hmm.
To me, yeah, that was a hell of a game.
I would say this.
It was a good game.
That Pete Carroll, I hold.
knocks him out of
And,
the, but you're not
relax in the
force him
comments.
out
I
of
know you're about to go crazy.
Huh?
That recency bias. I hold Pete Carroll in higher regard than I hold Nick Saban.
I don't know about that one.
You say Pete Carroll what?
I hold Pete Carroll in a higher regard than Nick Saban. I didn't say either one was better than the other one. I said I hold
Explain.
Pete Carroll.
Explain what you're saying.
How many coaches you know? I can think of two off the top of my head, but how many coaches you know that won it at both levels?
Well, Pete got 2 chances to win it at both levels
Yeah,
too.
Pete got whooped the first time.
Yeah, he failed miserably.
With the Rams.
Had to learn. Yeah, he did.
I didn't say chances.
He's a
I
great
said
guy.
who did it? Who did it? Pete Carroll did it. Pete Carroll won at both levels.
He did.
Yeah.
He
Jimmy
did.
Johnson won at both levels.
He did. He's a great guy, dog. Like he has to be very relatable dude. Has to be.
He's like 77.
But you say you hold him in regard?
I hold him in a higher regard than Nick Saban. Personally.
I can see that.
I didn't say he's greater than Nick. I said I personally hold him in a higher regard, as well as Jimmy. I hold Jimmy Johnson in the highest regard because Jimmy Johnson won it at a place that we'll probably never see it again. If I'm being honest, if Dak don't win this year, it's over with. Like, go ahead and shut it down.
Hey Siri. Let's see if Siri works. Hey Siri. Define regard.
As a verb, regard means consider or think of someone or something in a specified way.
Oh, you didn't.
Let's hear the next one.
Okay, well, that's on your opinion. This is on your opinion. You can do whatever you want to do. This is your own opinion. That's what Siri said it means.
Yeah, regard doesn't mean I'm not saying that one is greater. I said I hold him in higher regard. Like some people might think this. I hold Eli Manning in a higher regard than Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT to y'all. But I hold Eli Manning in a higher regard because he beat Brady twice. Does that make sense?
Not really, but it's your opinion, dog. You got
Hey, do your thing. It's your world.
Not really, dog, but you can have that. Fool, you can have that. But
I guess
you're
y'all
a Giant
understand.
fan. You're a Giant fan, right?
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying
okay.
isn't making sense because I'm saying
I think Marino's the greatest quarterback ever to play. And so I get it.
Exactly. So you hold Marino in a higher regard than most quarterbacks.
Right.
It's not you saying that you think he's better. Well, you did just say that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I hold him in a higher regard because of what he was able to accomplish against a certain, you know what I'm saying, demographic. But that's just me.
Is anybody, if you're just getting here, man, Cormani McClain commits to Colorado. Me and X was wrong. Every crystal ball up until yesterday was wrong. We all was wrong. Only reason I'm saying that is this. There's no such thing as wrong. I tell you, recruiting is fluid. It's like a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like a basketball game. You walk in the game, you be like, hey, New Orleans up. Okay, New Orleans losing. That's how recruiting is. It's fluid. But last week around this time, we were having some deep conversations in the group with the villains, and it was slipping away. If you become a villain tonight, go read the community section, and we could feel it was slipping away. DVD leaving was becoming a reality. This isn't a surprise. This isn't a surprise today. You know what I'm saying? If you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago, if you watch the interview, and I could play it for you again with Mom. They asked Mom, was it NIL? Mom was like, hell, if it was about NIL money, we could have been on a speedboat. Nah, she didn't say, she didn't say that. She was just like, if it was about NIL money, we could have went anywhere. I believe her when she say it felt right. I do. I believe her. I believe Deion has a way of using that comfortability, whatever the word is, and he's using it to his utmost. Cormani is out. Does that drop us? But yeah, they had done. So we just in the recruiting rankings, we'll just stay where we at, right?
No, some people said we're down to number 7, but yeah, I got to remember too. They sat there and basically what they did with Malgoa and Okunlola after the All-Star game is BS. They dropped them for no reason. So, I mean, this is the games that they play. So just like Mehdi said, it's hard to even pay attention to that nonsense anymore. It's just nonsense.
So you go ahead, KB. You finna say something?
I was gonna say that's a pretty steep drop. Like y'all know me, I don't really care about all that stuff, but that's a steep drop. Like that's funny to me.
What,
yeah,
to
the reason it happened, though, in my opinion, it's not just Cormani McClain, but it's also because of dropping the other players lower that we have committed, like Malgoa, like Okunlola. We saw the highlights with both of those guys, and they dominated throughout the whole All-Star game. And then they give a kid, because he's going to Georgia, who got whipped at the All-Star game, and we saw it on tape. They made him a higher rated offensive lineman. So none of that makes sense anymore. They lose credibility every single season. So, I wouldn't even pay
I think he was going to Alabama. The lineman that got destroyed on tape. I think he's going to Alabama.
Monroe Freeling.
No, I'm thinking of Lennon. I think Allows Lennon. Okay. Regardless, yeah. That's why I can't take them seriously. You know what I'm saying? They put all this emphasis on Panty Olympics, but it just generate likes and clicks and whatever the case may be. So, not concerned about it.
I can see Mama walking in there and look Deion looking at Mama saying, "Yeah, the DVD was all right. Like he was all right in the league." I can see him saying that, dog. He was all right.
You know, it's a funny dynamic. It's okay. Ed Reed played late into his career and later after Deion. But when we bring him up, stop talking about, oh shit, Ed Reed didn't play that long ago. But this is the same guy who everybody named Mom was talking about how, 7% of the earth is covered by water, the other 30% is covered by Ed Reed, right? I never heard that about Deion for one. But two, Deion played
No. I think you got that wrong, bro. They said that was Deion's original. That phrase original for Deion.
Look, when I hear a head coach tell me that when I game plan, I have to game plan for Ed Reed, I'm just taking it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there trying to start no issues and no drama. It is what it is. I'm not old enough to remember Deion. I'll put it like that, right?
How old are you, Mehdi?
I ain't saying all that, man.
Text me, dog. Text me. They acting like DMX.
At the end of the day, it's simple as this. Right? I love how when we talk about our players in the league, suddenly that narrative stop talking about old shit. But when Deion comes out showing all these people these old ass tapes from the mid and late and early 90s, all of a sudden it's okay. When he talks
Where
about
they
his
were,
gold jacket, we give him the benefit of the doubt and the thumbs up. Pick a struggle.
yeah. When they wore hubcaps as hip pads.
Shout out to Don, man. Don Snaps. He gets the context, man. He said every reason I hired regarding Deion to me. That's all I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Regard don't mean someone's necessarily greater statistically. It's just where you have them as a personal preference. Simple as that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why is it okay to move that needle when it comes to Deion?
I don't know
I think Deion is
Go
just
ahead, KB.
Deion is a much more polarizing figure. That's one thing you gotta contend with. Remember we talked about like Streeter said, like, do we think anybody that can do what Deion did? And it's just like no, because there's only one Deion. Like Luke brought up a good one. He said Chad, and I hadn't thought about Chad, but that was like pretty decent. But there's only one Deion, so I think you gotta look at how polarizing the figure Deion Sanders is and was on and off the field.
Only reason I can't put Chad in that regard is because I don't know if A, Chad don't got a jacket yet. B, was there ever a time when Chad was the best receiver in the NFL? Like hands down, bar none, no, not a close second.
No, I think
No.
what he was trying to relate it to was Chad and his charm, his
Personality.
charisma, what he does with media, all that type of stuff. Like the media presence is what he was trying to say. Like Street was saying, like that's how you sell these kids, make it
Mhm.
cool to go somewhere. So Luke told Chad, you can make it cool to go somewhere because you know that's Chad. He's a personality.
That's cool. I just want to see how it translates to coaching at the P5 level.
Yeah, I think he was talking about Chad from
Yeah,
from
probably
a
personality standpoint.
from a personality standpoint. I don't think Deion doing a lot of coaching over there. I think Deion doing a lot of leading. A lot of leading, rah, getting kids to buy in, making people believe. I think there's a lot of that going. I think there's a lot of that going on. I believe that marketing for football is entertainment, and I believe that marketing is the answer to a lot of things, but a lot of people don't understand it. I've been saying this. I asked Deion about this at Jackson State when we were on the space together. I wanted him to explain using the cameras to market. He said, "Hey, we don't have a budget like that, so I had to do what I had to do to get the program out there." And I believe that's the answer for a lot for a lot of things, a lot of programs. I believe the answer is letting people see. We watch Hard Knocks every year. You know, anybody could be on Hard Knocks. They can put a goddamn USFL team on Hard Knocks, and it'll be interesting to watch. Put the Cleveland Browns on Hard Knocks, worst team in the NFL, and all of a sudden we're excited about seeing them play. I believe HBCUs should utilize it. I believe they should show what goes on campus. I believe it could be used. I believe the University of Miami could use it. Miami has a lot of characters, a lot of personalities. Deion is 50 years old. We got a couple of them dudes.
I don't know if
But
Mario
you got to be on that. Nah, you got to be on that. Mario looked us in the face and told us nobody's getting access to the program.
Yeah, Manny was with that, but then it's ironic.
Was he soft on drop or something?
It's ironic that he does that. He says that. You know what I'm saying? They had the Canes all access last year. and you see, I will never forget this scene, especially because what happened this year.
But yeah, Canes All Access is them though.
That's
them internal, huh?
No. The Canes, the show they had at the beginning of the season in the summer, like it was on ESPN.
Oh, when they allowed, that's watered down.
Like it was like a little mini documentary type thing.
Yeah. That's the closest.
I would never get that time when I seen Bubba Bolden and Mike Harley pointing in the raps like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be right there as an All-American, and then you gonna be right there." And I'm sitting there like, man, like I was hyped watching it, and then nothing at all.
And then what?
And then you got a true freshman named Cam Kitchener arriving the campus, putting his head down, taking Bubba's spot, and then the next year actually becoming a first-team All-American. Man, life is funny, ain't it?
Well, maybe that's the point you were trying to make when you were talking about Ed Reed. Like it's funny, and this is the thing, Mehdi. It's fans. Fans are weird, right? When Ed left, you heard people saying, "All right, well, he wasn't doing nothing. Goodbye." Like, does it really take for Cam Kitchens to get in an interview and tell you that he was in the room with Ed Reed? Like, you couldn't figure that out by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so we're like, "Oh, we're in a big loss." Like, bro, like he really had to tell y'all that. So you see what, Ed Reed being Ed Reed transferred over to when it came to Cam. But like he was saying, Deion probably ain't coaching. You know what I'm saying? Deion probably is not coaching. He's just doing the media thing, getting the kids together. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he picks a good coaching staff, okay, he'll do fine. But in comparison to Ed Reed, when it comes like that, I can see everything about Ed Reed translating to wins on the field. I mean, clearly it has when you look at Cam. I'm not giving him 100% of the credit with Cam, but like, come on, man, some of that is kind of obvious, bro.
There's definitely a work ethic that maybe they didn't pick up on, but
there's a work ethic they didn't pick up on.
Yeah, that Cam Kitchens adopted from clearly Ed Reed. Say what you want. Oh, that was a die. That was DVD. Say what you want, but Mario, of his own admission, said there's only one person in here in this office longer than me, and that's Cam Kitchens. So that kind of spoke to me about the way that he taught and teaches. That it's other thing too, man. Because I don't think I spoke about this yet. Like people getting all up in arms about him complaining about the trash thing. There's a Canes All Access from Golden. When Golden had Ed Reed come in and talk to the team, I think he was telling him, he was like, oh, no, correction. When Ed Reed first got there as the chief of staff, it was him telling the players, hey, y'all need to pick up this trash, man, in the meeting room, in the overall team meeting room. It's on the record. You can go back and watch it. Like, it's not nothing new. I'm kind of pissed that he actually went back and apologized about speaking his truth, because I think he wasn't saying anything that was downgrading the university. True. Yeah, or saying something that was unjust or untrue. Like he was speaking facts. Like this shit is ghetto, for lack of a better term. Y'all need to figure it out. And you see that? Like we clean all this up. You look over there, it's more trash that we gotta pick up. Like that's ridiculous. But he's been like that since college. Telling his guys, hey, pick up your tape off the ground in the locker room. When you take it off after the game, like throw it in the trash. Like it's simple things. People look at it like, man, what's the big deal? It's just trash. It's like it's attention to detail, and that's something that he is huge and places emphasis on. If there's one thing that they're gonna be at Bethune-Cookman is paying attention to detail, because he has to drill that and instill that in everybody that he's gonna coach. So. Shout out to him, man. Good luck to him.
Now that Bethune-Cookman,
what is this man talking about?
Who? That Bethune-Cookman stuff, I found out. Bethune-Cookman's AD. Boy, they got a little weird for me this morning. Bethune-Cookman's AD, Reggie Theus. He's the AD and the basketball coach, head coach, athletic director. He was once an NBA head coach for the Sacramento Kings. He played in the league. He played in the league for about 10, 12 years. He was the AD and the basketball coach at Bethune. He has to be the one that hired Ed Reed, right? Had to be him. He had to hire Ed Reed.
I don't know the entire makeup of a lot of those schools, but
I'm sure he had the AD. I'm sure the AD had to have some hand in that. But he's the AD and the basketball, like high school. Like he's the AD and the basketball coach.
That whole thing just sounds problematic. Like it just sounds like a very poorly ran organization, if I'm being honest.
Well, I just think they don't have much money, Maddie. I think they're broke and maybe don't know how to get money. But somebody of this stature, I just thought about it. Like Ed Reed was basically talking at him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, like that got a little complicated for a minute. But back on the Canes, man, we're gonna bring my boy in here, man. Kim.
Yo-ho! Well, it's no longer Monty in the middle. He's off to Boulder. It's no longer Monty in the middle. Wow, what a sad day. Sad day. Ain't no sunshine.
You say you can't be sad, Kim. We got a hell of a class, man. We outpunted our coverage.
Well, I mean, look, here's the issue. We've got to become a destination program again. Right now, this is going to happen to Miami here and there until Mario builds this thing to a point where we don't ever be in a position where a kid even plays these games. And once these games are played, we just say, okay, good luck to you. But we took our shot. It was a dream. It was okay. I think the writing was on the wall like graffiti on a New York subway car the last couple of weeks. Now we have clarity. But now, as I told Amon Richards on Twitter, we are now officially team Damari Brown. Damari Brown, All-American 2025. Book it.
Steve, I was always big on Damari.
Which we should have been before.
Well, now I'm really team Damari Brown and his brother, too. Can't forget his brother.
Which we should have been before because he was the one committed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to land him. But like you say, the writing had been on the wall these last couple of days, starting last week. From the things I knew from the inside, the wheels was falling off really, really fast.
You know, and look, Miami's got a really good class, and I think after a point in time that this was going to be an interesting thing about, was he becoming too much of a headache, and would he have been a culture fit? I've always been a proponent of this, whether it's the NIL or not, whether the transfer portal exists or not. You have got to get kids or young men that want to be at Miami. And you want to be at Miami for all the right reasons. And if you're there because of the money or some other reason, it's not going to work out. And we know this, guys. We've talked about it a lot. We've had a culture issue within that locker room. You want to gut the program, all the guys that aren't fully bought in. And if Cormani was not fully bought in, good luck to him in Colorado. That's just the reality. We got to move forward with the players that we have.
Right. I tell you guys this all the time. This recruiting stuff, I know fans seem to think that the kids are jacking around and they playing with it and they yo-yoing around and what the word they use all the time? Stringing us along. What's the word they always say the recruits doing to us?
Let's just go stringing us along.
Trolling us, whatever. They always trolling us. And listen, bro, it's not that. It's kind of like boxing, Kim. Yeah, it looks cool on the TV, but go sit ringside.
Yeah.
It's a brutal, emotional roller coaster for these people, bro. And even when they settle and they choose, I'm sure the first thought is just how I felt when I was sitting at that table and they had done flew me. They had done flew me from Miami to South Carolina. And I was about to go to boot camp in 2 days. The feeling I was feeling was like, did I do the right thing?
Yeah.
Like, what was I? And I just always had to remember what got me to that point. I had to just keep going back to that. Recruiting is ugly for these families, man. As much as y'all may think, oh, they're rich now, mama can buy as many wigs as she want to, and all that. Listen, bro, very stressful situation for these families, man. They become famous instantly.
And the money made it worse.
Huh?
The money made it worse.
Yeah, you got 500 people tweeting at you. You don't know what to do. You become famous instantly.
It was probably better when they were doing McDonald's bags under the table, because it was always to understand, like, hey, you don't speak about this because this is not supposed to be happening, right? Now it's almost like, because it's all in the it's all out there now, it's all accessible. It makes it, kind of like more difficult. To Chris A, I see his question. He's like, how do I join the villains? If you look down below on the underneath, and there should be a join button. Just click that. You probably got to have an account. Click that.
Or the description. It's also in the description too. So yeah. Go ahead, Minnie. I'm gonna let them watch the after you finish, I'll let them watch the interview again for everybody who didn't see it.
All right. But yeah, I think it makes it even more difficult now, because it's all out there in the open now. It's all out, you know what I'm saying, for anybody and everybody to know about these deals, like, kind of like the Rashada situation. And I think it was a lot easier to be able to put those things in perspective when you knew it was kind of under the table and nobody was going to talk about it. It was one of those things where it was like, the kid may have got paid, may have. Like, you just saw your cousin pull up in a Bentley truck. There's no maybe, right?
What are these crazy Rashada numbers they coming up with, bro? Like what?
It's that collective, man, and that's why
13 million
don't work. Yeah, 3.25 over 3 years.
I'm not
4
buying
years.
that. I'm not buying that at all.
I saw a Florida fan on Twitter say he agreed to a 1.1 million. Then 2 quarterbacks left, and so he knew that he was possibly going to get immediate starting opportunity. So that's when he upped the price. And because he upped the price, the school backed off on the deal.
Listen. Where's Rashada from? Oakland?
He's from Northern California. That's kind of near Oakland, that school that he's at.
Those numbers cannot be real. Because if they are, you just saw nothing goes up that fast. Ohio State and Clemson is too busy trying to bring it down. Nothing jumps that fast.
Yeah, but Streeter, you kind of knew this was going to end a certain way. Wasn't his father Harlan going on Spaces, basically saying certain things, and you're like, okay, you know where this is going. Here's my belief.
I mean, they were about business,
which is fine. But I've always held this belief, whether it's NIL or not, you should still choose a school that you actually want to go to. If it's just about the money and another school that you really don't want to go to, that you don't fit into, bad system, bad cultural fit, and they offer you $1 more, and that's where you go, you deserve your fate. You deserve your fate if that's the case. Let's just be very honest about it. You made this, you auctioned off your son. Congratulations. I see this in boxing a lot. These fathers look at their kids as ATMs. I see it a lot in boxing. They quit their job. They think they're going to train them, even though they've never trained another fighter. Then they try to become the manager, even though they have no boxing sense. There comes a point where you have to ask your son, what's the actual school you want to go to? Where do you think you fit in best? Which group of guys do you get along with the best? And let's try to make the best deal there. But if everything is about just the highest amount of dollar right off the bat, you're asking for situations like this.
Right. What if you were from Georgia and your dad died 5 years ago, and your mom, single mom, they pulling back the hours at work, and everything in the house is behind. You're the number 2 wide receiver in the nation. You want to play for Georgia. It's your dream school. TCU said, man, if you just commit, we'll give you $100,000.
Okay, but what's Georgia offering?
So you said not necessarily stick, just commit. Like say you're verbally committed.
Just say you coming to us today.
Well, okay, now you're playing that game, but
I'm asking a question. If your signing day is you know what I'm saying, you're committing early. You're committing early. You're committing. You know what I'm saying? They saying commit. However it ends is however it ends. But if you commit today, 100,000.
Commit.
But is it a binding commitment where you actually have to touch down in Fort Worth, Texas, and be there for a year?
Nope, you never even visited TCU. They just need you, the number 2 wide receiver in the nation, to say, hey, I'm coming. So they can get 10 more kids like you to come see the campus because you're coming.
All right, well, I would take that money if it's non-binding. If that's what you want. If you want a verbal pledge, but not a binding commitment, that's different. But I think it was one of the spaces, it may have been last week, or Amon Richards, I asked him, are you glad you came to Miami? Were you glad there's no NIL? And he said, look, I get the value, even though my career was cut short, out of the relationships that I made at Miami. And we have a mutual friend, Jerry, that knows Amon very well, and they're doing some things. We have to change the focus of a lot of these young kids, that it's not just NFL or bust. When you get to college, or in fact, it starts all the way in like elementary school. Actually become a good student so you can expand your horizons and have your choice of better schools across the board. Then step 2 goes, when you go to college, just don't think about football. Actually meet people. Understand the alumni base. Network a little bit. If it's just football, and I don't want to hear, well, it's just all we have, right? Because you make it that way. But that cultural or that mindset has to literally begin at age 6 and 7. It's a harsh truth, but it's the truth.
It is the truth. Who's gonna teach it?
Right.
We've gotten a lot better, bro. Kim, did you grow up poor or you grew up with money?
I grew up middle class. I mean, I would not call myself destitute, but I wouldn't call myself wealthy either. You know.
Maddie, you grew up middle class or you grew up money? You grew up rich?
I don't know what middle class look like.
You're from New York, Maddie. Everybody struggles in New York, even the rich people.
Yeah, even the rich people.
That's the whole population. But at the same time, like I don't know what is middle class like.
Could you get Jordans? Could your mama buy you Jordans?
I didn't get my first pair of Jordans till I passed the FCAT in 10th grade. My mom bought me some Mellows.
Okay, Maddie was poor. All right, Cal. Cal, you poor or middle class? What were you?
I was very poor.
You very poor?
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, my dad, I remember us counting all my dad's drug money. I remember counting it, money everywhere. And then he died when I was 12. And shit got real serious. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that scenario that I brought up, right? Very, very tough when your mom, your grandma, your aunt, nobody in your damn family has ever seen $100,000. And Kim, that's what we up against, bro.
Right. But my point is, I'm not saying the kids. See, here's the thing. It's not as if these other schools, like I would figure a number 2 receiver in the country from the state of Georgia, the Bulldogs are going to offer something. He's going to have a budgeted amount of NIL money waiting for him. So it's not like either take nothing or you take this NIL from a school 3,000 miles away that you don't like. I think there is a delicate balance. Money matters. I am not trying to minimize the impact of the financial aspect of this. But if your heart is not into a place, no matter what amount of money you get, and then you're asking a 17, 18-year-old kid, hey, have fun 2,000 miles away. You've never lived from home, but anyway, goodbye. You don't want to go there, but hey, you got money. And if you're miserable there, it's going to be a tough run. How can you then maximize yourself as a player if you know every day you wake up, you're like, oh my God, this godforsaken place, this is awful.
Yeah, but no, listen, Kim, everything you're saying is correct. That's coming from a perspective of somebody who's read a lot of books and seen a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these kids, bro.
Like, I'm just telling you, I love the fact that Amon Richards, who would have been a first-round draft choice and would have made a lot of money playing football, we know this. But he says, but the way he's adjusted and transitioned to the next chapter of his life where he's in business, he's an entrepreneur, and he's very happy, even though football was taken away from him prematurely. But that's because he flat out said on that space, my father would not have heard this crap about transferring, and he would have said, bullshit, you're going back to Miami. With just the commitment we made. And maybe that's the difference of having a male father figure in your life. But it also, you could tell that Amon, from the very first day of probably 8th, 9th grade, freshman year high school, had this mindset that, you know what, I'm a football player. It's what I do, but it's not necessarily all I am.
Cal.
Amon from Wellington.
What's the difference, Cal? What's the difference between Amon and Jeff Thomas?
Amon from Wellington. Jeff from some hood in Illinois.
Listen, if we could get every kid to be raised like Amon, Kim, we'll be better off. I think Mon dad played in the league, a baseball player or something. Mon, 2-family home, Wellington, raised well. Yeah, your dad is the only one that's going to put you out there at 6 versus 10-year-olds. Your mom not going to do that. When you're 6, she's going to put you out there versus 4-year-olds. She needs to see you win every time. She don't give a damn. She just want to see you win. She don't give a shit development. My child beat your child. So listen, and I'm not saying single mom, single dads. What I'm saying is that Amon came from that situation, Kim. And he told us that night. Like, he told us, he's from Wellington, Florida. A lot of us wish we could live in Wellington. A lot of us
so he's a Huxtable.
Wellington.
So you're saying he's a Huxtable. That's what you're saying.
I would say he's a Cosby. Yeah, he's a Huxtable. He's
a Huxtable. By the way, I've been watching a lot of Cosby Show reruns in the last week or two. What a great! I didn't realize how good that show was. I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now. Just
really?
the whole imaging of it, the whole perception, and the way the image that they gave out and amplified is really positive.
He tried. You know? He tried really hard. Cosby tried really hard.
Steve, when white people are willing to call you America's father, you're doing something right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, look, I wish Cormani well for, and I hope that Deion really does have his best interest at heart. But I do wonder though, how does a kid that grew up in Lakeland, how is he going to handle a whole year? It's one thing to have a weekend in the snow. That's fun. That's called a ski trip. But when you wake up to that 4, 5, 6 months a year, and look, Colorado's schedule, they might be 1-5 guys. Have you looked at their first 6 games? That's a tough run. I mean, when reality sets in, how do they handle all that?
Right.
Hey, regardless of what it is, it's sure gonna make good must-see TV. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Amazon don't care. They're gonna get the check.
Shout out to the real do man. One second, let me get these in, man. We'll be skipping over here. We got to get better with it.
You good.
Shout out to the real came with it, do man. Awesome show, but I don't want to see that video again. Cue it up, boys.
For you to pick Colorado and Coach Prime.
All right, in my position, I play DB, so Coach Prime is the best DB. I just want to be in the same shoes, same predicament, gold jacket, everything. Get coached by the best DB and the best DB, or not.
Mom, as a parent, this recruiting process was very intensive for you guys. What made you comfortable with all the options that you have for your son settle on the University of Colorado?
I feel like God does things for a reason. So when Colorado came in, they kept it 100 with us the whole time. I didn't have to second guess it. I felt like it was more real. Not saying no other people are real. I'm just saying the feeling that you have when you know it's the right feeling. But yeah, we're ready.
She's trying to explain that feeling, Cal. She's trying to explain that what we're talking about. That realism, like, hey, this might feel like home. Shout out to Coach Hayes. It might feel like family over here. They got cornbread too. Who cooked this?
That's important, man. That's important.
By the
There's
way,
always going to be a lot of rumors and a lot of haters that say
wait, one Kim, I got
this was about NIL money. This is why this decision was made. How would the both of you address that? Mom, I'll start with you.
Well, first of all, if it was about the money, we could have signed anywhere else, you know. So the feeling, like I said, that I had when I was around these people, and they treated us like family. I just felt like we belong here. So that has nothing to do with it.
So Shad said, don't mean to change the subject, but Steve, do you think behind Rick Glazer and his projections on the Tank fight?
Oh, the pay-per-view is number of 61,000. I don't know. Rick's been pretty good at his numbers. It's funny with Rick. When he reports something that people like, he's very credible. People say he's a great source. Then when he says something people don't like, he's not credible. So, I mean, you can kind of take that. I probably think it may have done a little bit more, but you're never going to get the true pay-per-view numbers of any pay-per-view show nowadays. Guys, going back to Cormani real fast and his whole camp, Street, how true was it that they were demanding that DVD get moved down to an on-field coach? Was that true? Then that's a deal breaker.
Well, not demanding. What happened was everything was fine, and then T-Rob whispered in Mom's ear, sending him to play for DVD. DVD not even gonna be his coach, and that confusing conversation started with on the field, off the field, who's coaching your kid, who's taking care of your kid. So she called and was like, "You not on the field?" "No, I ain't on the field."
Oh God, so
what
great.
I'm not sure what that means.
So you're telling me T-Rob is negatively impacting our secondary to this day? Wow.
Exactly. Hey, Steve, addition by subtraction. I'm going to lose him, but damn it, you are too.
So it was asked. It was asked, Kim. It was asked that, hey, listen, I can't send my son to coach a die, which I basically ignored. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable with that. So what was our asset became our liability in the end.
That's a deal breaker. Look,
talk to me.
If Mario Cristobal wants to replace a die because he feels as though that's the move, then I can accept it. But to make concessions like that for a true freshman, nope. Don't do it, Mario. Don't do it. This is your program. You build it in your vision. Yeah. We should never capitulate for one single player in that type of situation. Never.
Hey, Siri. What does capitulate mean? Hey, Siri.
That means to back down. That means to lay back.
Hey, Siri.
It means to get thrown under the bus.
What does capitulate mean?
Hey, big
SAT word.
Shout out to football, but it's SAT night. It's SAT night, man. SAT prep.
Listen, man. Siri said, I don't know, man. I'm in Dade County with you. Steve out west using them big words. I don't, but listen, Steve, you right about that. Miami doesn't want to bend for anybody. Miami is not kissing. I know this for a fact. They're not kissing. You know what I'm saying? As they're not. Hey, listen, if you want to use your leverage against us, all right, use it. We go somewhere else. That is how they're handling a lot of situations. And they're just moving how they want to move. They tried to make DVD comfortable. And I think that couldn't be said in the midst of this. Like Mario couldn't come out and be like, shit, you crazy. He couldn't say that in the middle of the recruitment. You know what I'm saying? But I know DVD didn't feel like, there was somehow he was going to get on the field because there would have been a lot to do. You moving Steele around, moving Strong around, making him the cornerback coach, or down to say, it would have been a lot to do. But when you start talking about value, right? And what do you value? Obviously, Miami valued recruiting this year. Obviously. Seen them dudes recruiting an hour before the game. I don't know who was it. An hour before the game, they was out front at the stadium.
Yep, at the lounge, at the recruiting lounge. I'd see him.
Right. So if that's
one last thing before I go,
ahead.
Streeter, what is our
What's up?
chances with Singletary now, the young man that transferred out of Georgia? Are we in play?
Haven't heard X talk about it. Haven't heard any of my people talk about him. When he was talking to us that time, he was saying that he was cool with T-Rob. When that old Houdini was Singletary here this weekend, why he wasn't at the pool party, he ain't come out of his room. He went back to Jacksonville. All of that was weird. To this day, all of that was weird. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't heard much. I'll jump on that for you now. I'll get on that. I haven't heard much about us and Singletary. Birdstone just said Singletary long shot.
Okay.
Do we need any more cornerbacks?
Well, you can never have too many, but we're Team Robert Stafford too, guys. Go, Robert. You're one of our guys. Blood in, blood out.
He has experience, but at the same time, we haven't seen what Chris Graves has. You know what I'm saying? We just heard him say, Cam, that Chris is next, Jaden's next. Did the Corey Couch graduate?
No, Couch to be here. That's your starting striker.
So, like I said, there's some guys we guys got to give a shot. I mean, I'm never against more talent acquisition, but at the same time, we gotta definitely be in a position to kind of let the guys we have. I feel the same about the wide receiver room too. I think we kind of threw those guys out with the bathwater, the baby out with the bathwater in regards to them. But I think we just need to see, like, hey, is there actual progression? If Gaddis is the guy that leaves, who we bring in replacing? Can he fully pull out the best out of that wide receiver room? It's January. Mario didn't have a staff this time last year.
Right.
He might have had Mirabal and Salaveo, who he brought with him from Oregon. Other than that, that was it. So, it is what it is, man. Just wait for the process.
Yep. All right, guys. Look, guys, I got to go to dinner, man. Really great joining you.
All right. Appreciate you, Steve.
All right,
Have a
Kim.
good night, fellas. Have a good night. See you.
Good night,
I'll talk
bro.
to you later, Streeter.
Love Kim, dog.
Yeah, that's the almanac right there.
He ain't got no history today.
Shout out to Cal, man. Cal introduced all of us to Kim, dog. Cal was like, man, I was in the space last night, 3:00 in the morning. Asian dude in there, man. Al Wednesday know everything about Miami. It didn't even make sense when he was explaining it.
Crazy, right? Crazy.
It didn't even make sense. But I saw you nod your head, Cal, when you started talking about what the kids, all of that stuff is true. It is.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we've been set back so far. Some of that stuff is a pipe dream, man, and we just got to keep pushing. The understanding isn't there when it comes to the kids, the families. I'm seeing kids commit to school, never visited there. I'm seeing kids not understand what NIL is and being recipients of NIL. I'm seeing kids not believing that they have any worth until they tackle somebody on primetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's rough.
I had to.
A lot of stuff he was saying is true. Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
Nah, you good? I'm done.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I had to. I was in Canes Unfiltered last night, and we were talking about the Cormani situation, and I kept trying to reiterate that exact point that they're like, oh, man, we ain't got no problem with this, but he should have did this and this and this. And I said, man, we gotta understand where some people may be coming from, what they may be accustomed to. So you're demanding somebody be professional who's never had to be professional or have never seen professional, or mom, this is not her 5th kid going into this. This is her first time going through this. You know what I mean? So and of course they started like, yeah, you're right, bro, and whatever. They were straightening me on some things too. And but that's all big. We gotta look at that, man. When we look at how we're judging these people, how we're looking at these people, man. Everybody, you just saying a person should do this and do that, but you can't give what you ain't got. If nobody never taught me how to tie a tie, you can't get mad if I walk into the church and it's loose. So, we have to think like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. That's a good one. You can't give what you ain't got.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just getting in here, man, Cormani McClain flips to Colorado, commits on $1 million worth of game in front of Gillie. When I saw Gillie and Wallow show up there, man, I was like, man, look at this, man. Like, bro, listen. I know if maybe y'all don't know who they are. I go way back with Gillie the Kid when he was spitting fire. Out of Philly in the 90s. I messed with $1 million worth of game. When I saw him sitting there, I was like, man, this man is using all his resources, all the homies. It's a cookout over there, bro. And we didn't think Colorado was going to let him do that.
That's true.
They changed the requirements to get into school. They let him and his homies run around the pool. They don't care who picking up the phone. 911. We got some. They don't care, dog. They just let them take over, dog.
And then they were smart. Well, unlike Miami, not saying Miami's not smart, but Miami still has yet to use all its resources to the fullest. Colorado's allowing Deion to use all of his resources. I mean, again, like I say, if Miami wins, it'll be fine, but they still just refuse to tap into every resource that they have.
And you've been saying that way before Deion came. We've been saying that. Mm-hmm. The resources that you're talking about says that they're confused.
Mm-hmm.
Take out my goddamn glasses. The resources that you're talking about is confused while Miami doesn't use its resources. Now let me lower my voice before they start saying, "Street, this is a Kane channel. You bashing the Kane."
They're still mad at you for having Luke on, so better tread lightly.
Somebody in the comment section just said this is all Luke's fault. Oh crap! So listen, man, the kids they out there working out, right? I think that some of them got their first workouts in this week.
Yeah, Malik Bryant got on Twitter and said, working out, I guess at Green Tree or whatever he was at indoor practicing was a dream. So yeah, they're already getting to work, and I think that's how Mario sold it to him. Like, I don't think this is something that he was. The reason why you saw them, before the game's time is like, hey, in the next, 4 months, this could be you. Like, forget everything else. Whatever you see on the field, don't worry about that. It's not important.
Right.
What is important? In the next 4 months, this could be you. Next 3 months, 2 months, whenever it was that he had that conversation. And I think that's worth noting because a lot of those guys are really sold and convinced that they are really about to get some type of starter reps. And I know a lot of times it's cliche to say it like, oh yeah, you could be a day one starter because you're a 5-star. But in reality, I think that's a real possibility with the amount of turnover this roster is seeing. I don't think that's fodder or just or blowing smoke up anybody's ass. I think that's real. I think that depending on him to be genuine, there's gonna be growing pains for sure. Get a couple of games to kind of get that under your belt. Compared to a Colorado who gets the guys who just got blown out in the national championship, but are gonna be absolutely pissed coming in game one. That's Deion's problem now. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's definitely time for this roster to change a little bit more. Still a lot of time. You still got some workouts, still got spring ball. They're probably about to start the winter conditioning program in the next couple of weeks, or fourth quarter program as we call it. And we get started seeing who's guys gonna kind of emerge. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Street gets some access to that. I doubt it, but maybe.
I know they're lifting now. They're lifting now in like 3 different sessions. I think they go at 7, 8, or 6, 8, and 9, something like that.
I ain't seen Fel, man. Fel been kind of quiet. What's his deal? He in the transfer portal too?
I think the wheels fell off on Fel.
What you mean?
I just think it's a certain way you got to be with South Florida kids, man. I think the kids, you got to be real with these kids, man. They different, man. Under the radar used to tell me that all the time, man. Listen, man, Street, you don't know what you got down there. Y'all kids different. It's all about loyalty, and it's all about trust with y'all kids. And they're going to see right through. Fel talks very intelligent. I love to hear him talk and the things he say. Yeah, but you can't. You gotta be real with these kids.
It's like that Tim Brewster clip.
Yeah, right.
I'm
sure he's there.
I hear what
again, Kyle?
I say it's like that Tim Brewster clip. Like our kids see through that. Like they're not going. That's not gonna resonate.
It's not. It's not. It's. You gotta be authentic, man. You gotta be kind of, and he kind of real, and so I don't know. Y'all haven't seen him.
I don't see him, pumping weights from his office while sipping an entire jar of cafecito. I don't see that, so I don't know what that means. I'm just saying, and yeah, maybe one of them other guys in the. Yeah, maybe one of them other guys in the room is kind of resonating a little bit more, and he just felt just utilizing that person, you know what I'm saying, to get his goals across. But there's a couple people we don't see. We don't know if that's by design or not. But stay locked in with Footballville.
I know.
And we will let you know as soon as we get it.
So listen, man, we ain't gonna stay on here all night long, man. Y'all just getting in here, bro. If you're just getting in here, Cormani McClain has flipped to Colorado. Committed in front of Gillie the Kid and Wallow and the whole church choir behind him. He interviewed his mama, and his mama said it couldn't have been about NIL. So we could have been in Miami. The last time I played this when Jaden Rashada flipped. See, we can play that for Jaden Rashada again. I think Jaden Rashada had his goddamn JUCO. Jaden Rashada is Jaden Rashada. Get him up, man. Get him up, goddamn. You still in. You can't play like that, man.
You need to add like a part where a scratch come in and Uncle Newton start playing in the background.
Shout out to Jaden Rashada, man. They let him out. They let him out his letter. His
national letter of intent. Yeah.
Yeah, they let him out. So now what? He can't. Now what?
You gotta hope that a school picks him up. But like I said, this debacle. I don't think there's a lot of coaches who probably wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. So he probably have to.
Well, I heard he had a visit to Colorado. Maybe it was a rumor or something. I saw that. It might not. I don't know if it's true, but I saw that on Twitter. They be making fake stuff on Twitter. Did y'all see what they did to Coach Hayes on Twitter?
What?
About Cormani?
I was like, man, people ain't got nothing to do, bro.
They did what?
I guess they photoshopped, or like someone was like picture watching a Cormani live or something like that, something on thing. He's like, and it said basically Cormani said something to the extent of, I know a lot of people say shocked.
What? I forgot about this. Go ahead, man. What did he do, Coach Hayes?
Who said that?
Hey, shout out to Reggie.
Who's that, Reggie?
basically they photoshopped something that made it seem like Coach Hayes was talking down about Cormani from his live stream. Then they photoshopped it saying Cormani saying like I knew like basically a lot of other people would be talking crazy, but I never guessed it was you. Something to that extent. Speaking of the right, y'all remember that sorry to shift gears. I saw this the other day, man. Y'all remember that dude used to be like, hey man, you sitting on your couch, you're not doing anything, you're not going, come on down to what school that was. Man, that dude used to have me feeling stupid.
Oh
For
boy.
that year that I was out of high school, man. I used to be feeling, what school was that? I just saw something.
How you sounded? You sound like Let's Go.
He said, hey man, you're sitting on your couch, you're not doing anything. Why don't you come down to college?
What school was that?
Damn, I just seen it. Someone gonna say in the chat. But I just see they just interviewed him about the process, and they were talking about they just interviewed him on a podcast. Not ICDC, it's another one. ICDC was Lil Romeo. It was that's gonna bother me for the rest of the night. Nah, not ITT Tech.
You say he used to make you feel
No,
stupid.
one.
Yeah, man, Everest College.
You say he used to make you feel stupid. Why used to make you feel stupid, dog?
Yeah, I graduated high school. I was working at Brandsmart. I wasn't doing nothing with my life, man. I was. And that dude's
TV. Passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next semester. No, do it right now. You after work, or you can go before work. You can do whatever you need to do to graduate. Go out. You're watching TV. You're sitting on the couch. You and your life is passing you.
He motivated you, Manny.
Hey man, hey, I say this: if Cormani don't tighten up, we're gonna be right there with his ass. That average.
Yeah.
But nah,
he motivated you, Manny, dog. He motivated you, dog.
Stupid, dog. I was like, man.
He was your eater hip hop preacher.
And the crazy thing
you
is, they
want to breathe.
Yeah, they were. They were. Yeah, Chris, I had student. Yeah, Mike Guess is talking about him. Hey man, you sitting there, you wasting your life. Come on down to college. Well, you ugly as hell. Come on. I'm doing something with my life. But now, he used to just make me feel stupid because I used to spend a lot of time just like watching Jerry. Like I used to have a routine. I would get up like 10 o'clock in the morning, play PlayStation like 2 for like 3 hours till like 1. Maybe eat lunch. Go. What I would do? Oh, watch Jerry Springer, Maury, I think Steve Wilkos in that order. Go back, get back on the game, play PlayStation 2 Madden for like another 4 hours. Maybe go out somewhere for the night, come back, go to sleep, wake the next day, do it again. I was doing nothing. Like
he was talking to you.
He was talking to me.
Talking to you.
He going to Job Corps. Hey, shout out to Reggie, man. But nah,
yeah, he was a Job Corps.
Yeah, damn, Job Corps.
Shout out for that shit. But nah, man, it was one of those things that yeah, definitely. I ain't gonna say he exclusively sparked it, but I gotta do something, man, because it was so well timed. We used to come on a day where they know people who ain't doing nothing with their life used to be at home watching the TV. It was so.
This is what I thought you were talking about.
And even H. Ross Perot have used government money programs to help make their millions, and you can too. I'm Matthew Wesco, and you probably see me on Oprah, Larry.
Who brought that book? I brought that book.
Talking about government money
programs.
You did?
My new it was a bunch of shit in that book too. Yeah, dog. It was a bunch of stuff in that book.
Change your life.
Good stuff or bad
stuff? Job, get an education, or
good stuff. Like a bunch of cheat codes, like a bunch of grants, and he was on to something. What he was saying, you know what I'm saying? He was on to something. There was a bunch of stuff in that book.
But nah, he was talking about how like he was this school had went to go like they paid him. He was part of a production company, and they paid him to go because I think the school's headquarters is based in Arizona. So he said he was out in Mesa, Arizona, and the school paid him and a couple other dudes to be a production team, and he was on like he was like the camera guy, the lighting guy, something like that. And so they went out to Mesa to go shoot, and the dude like the person that they shot it with the commercial just didn't come out right. And so they were basically driving back to go tell the school like we ain't got nothing for you, like And so he was basically in the backseat like, man, this stuff is easy. All you gotta do is just kind of talk to the person and make them like feel accountable for the way you're saying it. And so he started like practicing in the back seat, right? And the dude was like, hey, I kind of like that. He's like, hey, let's get out and try it. So they get out in like some hotel parking lot where he's at. And he said the lights that's the lights. There was no lights. The parking lot was pitch black. He said the lights from the headlights is the lights in a commercial from the car. And he said he just stood in front of the car. They set the camera up, and he was like, yeah, that shit you did in the back, just do that again on camera. And then they just took that back, and it was like, we love it. Start making more. And they paid him like outrageous money to keep making them commercials. Like, so shout out to the Everest College guy. That school was a scam for the record.
Was it?
Yes, absolutely. They owe a lot of people a lot of money. Like the education department, the Department of Education got in their ass because they ripped off a lot of people. So if you did go to Everest, shout out to you, man. Try to get your money back because it was definitely a scam city, just like ICBC and probably whoever that guy used. Well, you said it was a cheat code, so it probably was legitimate. But
why they was using dudes that didn't look like they was in school though?
Probably because they resonate with people like me.
What?
Probably because they resonate with people like me.
On the couch, about to roll nasty ass, sticky ass, stimmy ass, Rebo.
That dude is funny too.
But why? But that was called Everest.
For 8 years,
This is the vibe.
I've taught at colleges.
This is the vibe.
Programs. And now I teach accounting at DeVry. And for the first time, I really feel like I'm preparing students for a career.
DeVry brings real-world experience.
Look at that Apple computer, boy. You see Steve Jobs at work, boy. Look at that Apple.
I used to drop by that DeVry campus every day, and the shit just looked like a scam from the outside. This shit like a strip mall or something like that. I know they in here stealing people money. I know they alive. It was a lot of schools in Tampa, like them little strip mall schools. Like it was a lot of them. The first school I went to, it wasn't a strip mall, but it was like it looked prestigious, but it was like one building with like 6 or 7 floors. And the classrooms looked legit, everything. They had all the equipment, everything. I was going there for audio production, audio engineering. And I did a semester there, and I got deployed, and I was like, man, I can't. And I came back, and I was trying to get my transcripts to transfer to another school, and I looked, and they were like, oh, the school changed their name. I was like, what? Like, they was like, yeah, the school changed their name. It's not the school anymore. Like, I was like, how do I get my transcripts? He's like, oh, you can't. Like, I was like,
you can't. You can't.
I was like, what? Say that again? Nah, it was a Full Sail, but it was a school like Full Sail, Marvin. What was it called?
Said you can't.
Even the name was stupid. The name sounded like a scam, but I still sound
Full Sail was real.
Full Sail is real. I got a couple cousins who graduated from Full Sail.
Full Sail is real. Now it's a bunch of shit you can learn on your own if you work really, really hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what I'm saying? But Full Sail was real.
I agree.
Definitely real. So listen, man, we're gonna get up out of here, bro. If you just getting here, Cormani McClain flips to Miami. I mean, flips from Miami to Colorado. If you was a football villain, man, I mean, if we had crystal balls, them was all out of batteries this week because we was just spiraling down. It was just spiraling down slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? If you want to become a villain, man, you get access to more information, bro. Just click the join button down there next to the subscription, man. Y'all want to say anything before y'all get out of here, bro?
Hey, man, appreciate. Oh, I thought you were saying this. Appreciate the donations, man. Everybody who donated, man. Like I said, man, don't let this get you down. I know the street keep trying to tug at y'all heartstrings, man. I won't let them. You know what I'm saying? We good. We fine, man. Nightmare's over. We still a little groggy. Nightmare's over.
The nightmare's over, dog. We Gucci though. Both going through growing pains. How many games Colorado won last year? One.
One. Let me look it up so I'm not make sure I'm not lying to y'all.
Oh no, bro! Look at I know. I pulled up our 20 years. Go pull up Colorado 20 years real fast. It is ugly. I think they have maybe 2 winning seasons.
Yep, they went 1-8 in the conference and 1-11 overall. Who was the one team that they beat? Hey, if y'all thought TVD was bad, they quarterback only threw for 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns.
No, they were bad, dog. They were bad.
There's
nowhere to go but up.
They leading rusher had 393 yards. Period.
I'm telling you, they had like 1 winning season, 2 winning seasons in the last 20 years.
Did they recruit anybody outside of, like, we know Travis came over, now they got Cormani, but y'all, that's what I'm saying. Have y'all heard, like, Coleman didn't even come over.
They're academic. They were like Miami in the years that we started getting good when Schellenberger was there. They had such high academic prowess that they weren't allowing certain people to be allowed into their school. So those certain people,
transfers.
Yeah,
right.
They weren't really coming to the school if you didn't have a certain type of GPA. And are they private? I think they're private too.
I think they are. Darn.
Yeah.
If we get off here.
So there's no state funding, there's no nothing. So they basically essentially were the Miami of the North or Mountain region, whatever.
So I heard
they just changed the academic standard.
They changed it for Deion.
Wait, well, somebody get me straight on that, because I discussed that last night, and they said what they changed about the academics was it wasn't necessarily lowering the academic. It was something about how fast you can get your transcription or something like that. Drew broke it down for me.
It was transfers. It was transfers. It was hard to get transfers in because I guess the classes wasn't lining up. They fixed it.
The curriculum. Yeah, the curriculum didn't match up because their curriculum is at a higher level. So when you see those schools and they rated like this is the number 12 school in America, that means they have a certain caliber of curriculum that's identified by those governing bodies who determine those school rankings. And if I'm coming from the number 312 school in America and trying to get to 12 school, if my curriculum don't match up, they're not going to let me in because it doesn't add up, right? Same with Miami. Like I want to get my master's degree at Miami, but the program that I'm currently in don't line up with what Miami has from an academic standpoint. So I would either have to change my major for my master's degree in something that's similar or just not go to Miami, go to another school that covers it. So they had to change academic openings, curriculums, whatever it took to get people who into that school so they could take it seriously, because without that, them people ain't going there. So and that included changing the ability to accept certain transfer credits. Like they really moving mountains, no, like pun intended, moving mountains to get people in there to allow Deion to be successful.
Yeah.
Well, I give them credit for it.
Yeah.
I was trying to say it's a public school.
But listen, as long as we stay in here, we don't got to see Deion on the Instagram and running around, because I just caught a glimpse of it. So as long as we're in here, we ain't got to look at social media. And because listen, them boys own the Instagram and YouTube right now. It's like you cannot touch it without one of them well-off videos popping up. And Deion is clowning on Instagram right now. I'm just gonna turn my phone off, man, and go lay on my girl booty or something, man. I'm just
we was clowning. Look, let's be clear, we was clowning too when this coaching staff got announced. We thought, well, we about to win a national championship.
No, we clowning with this recruiting class.
I know, but I'm saying we were clowning with this coaching staff. We was, it's over. Yeah, we got the best coaching staff in America. That we was all that's what birth came unfiltered is this recruiting, this coaching staff and this recruiting office.
Yeah.
That fall was very humbling. Well, we hit every rock on the way back. You understand me? To that 5-7 season. But hey, you can't cheat the process, right? So
you can't.
It's all right, man.
I don't need Colorado to lose. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to win.
Right.
I don't need them to fail in order for us. Yeah. Now, freshman cornerbacks. because we finna get up out of here. But freshman cornerbacks, right? Name a freshman cornerback that jumped right off the porch and was ready to roll.
Did Surtain play his first year?
Hurry up for the comment section. Get to y'all. Alabama don't count. Go. They got too many defensive linemen. Name a freshman cornerback that will jump right in, was ready to roll. Yeah, hurry up for the comment section. Get to you. Jalen Ramsey. They go one in the comment section.
I don't follow corners enough to know because I can't think of one. But yeah, I guess
Patrick Peterson. But let's come up a little more. Recently, Artie Burns went first round. Artie Burns struggled as a freshman.
Zante Samuel Jr. didn't he play? Samuel Jr. didn't he play? Freshman.
Did he? That's amazing
because he got out of there fast. Yeah, but he got out of there fast.
And mind you, can say
I don't know if he did. I'm just guessing.
You can say
say sauce.
It's
Pat Surtain played.
Natty, dog.
Buddy from LSU. Buddy from LSU. What are you talking about? Honey Badger?
Honey Badger was a safety.
Nah.
He started as a freshman. He started as a sophomore.
We didn't have we've never had a freshman quarterback go out there and do their thing. Tracy Howard, but he was in Danafario defense. Derek Stingley, they got one. It doesn't happen often, dog, and for a reason. It doesn't happen often, but we're going to see Cormani McClain on that field, good or bad. Because pitching Travis Hunter on one side, Cormani on the other side, them jokers may flip and play both ways. Because with the recruit class, because I was just reading something and Colorado fans were saying that out of the top rated kids in Colorado, none of them went to Colorado. None of them committed to Colorado. And the fans, I put that in a group meeting. I wanted to talk about that. And the fans were saying that their argument was, I hope this changed. I hope we start recruiting our kids. And some people was like, why do we care if we recruit our kids if they ain't good enough? We want to recruit better kids. And it was a good conversation. I wanted to talk about that. It's in the group me. I'll pull it back down. But none of the top kids in Colorado, some of the top kids that got rated committed to Colorado. And it probably was before Deion. I'm not saying he missed them, but that's the situation over there. Bryce Hall. Janoris Jenkins. It doesn't have Tony Grind. Tony Grind kind of struggled, though, didn't he? Oh, he balled out. Yeah, he did ball out in the beginning. And then kind of probably fell off. NIL got him. So let's get up out of here, man. All right?
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate y'all boys, man. And I'm going to hit y'all up, all right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man, 786-405-9499. If you want to get down with IOD Squad, or if you need your credit fix, boom, there's the number right there. IOD Squad, listen, I'm going to bring Rico on here, man. Rico done made $6,000 on in IOD Squad this week. I told him he got to come in here and talk. I don't care if we got to pay him. $6,000 following our plays in IOD Squad. The link is in the comment section if you want to be down with IOD Squad. Investor.12 to get in for $12. It's the code. I think it's only maybe 50 more people can get in with that. I think it's Investor.12 is the code. If not, just text me. I'll give you the code. Rico is killing it in IOD Squad. I say, man, Rico, you killing it. He say, street that y'all plays. So yeah, man, if you're just looking at here, man, Cormani McClain commits to Colorado, and don't put off tomorrow something you could do today. No, wait. I'm in and out. I'm trying to end every show like this. Sydney and Layla, I love you. I'm gonna end every show like this, and we can talk about it later. Sydney and Layla, and you guys try to figure. They kicked me up out of here. So this is how I'm in the show. I'm in every show from here on out. With Sydney and Layla, I love you. My two daughters. Don't put off tomorrow something you could do today. The rest of your life could be seconds away. I'm D. Out of here.
Starting next year, 2023. This year, this semester coming up, who will you be playing for?
I'll be going to Colorado.
You go to University of Colorado. Coach Prime, you did it 2 years in a row.
2 years, Coach Prime.
The Buffs. 2 years in a row. Coach Prime got the #1 player
Defensive back
in the country. Yes. 2 years in a row. What made you choose
Colorado? Why was it important for you to pick Colorado and Coach Prime?
In my position, I play DB, so Coach Prime, he's the best DB. I just want to be in the same shoes, same predicament, gold jacket, everything. Get coached by the best DB and the best DB. Why not?
Mom, as a parent, this recruiting process was very intensive for you guys. What made you comfortable with all the options that you had for your son settle on the University of Colorado?
I feel like God does things for a reason. So when Colorado came in, they kept it 100 with us the whole time. I didn't have to second guess it. I felt like it was more real. Not saying no other people are real. I'm just saying the feeling that you have when you know it's the right feeling. But yeah, we're ready.
Guys, I'm gonna ask this to both of you. There's always going to be a lot of rumors and a lot of haters that say this was about NIL money. That's why this decision was made. How would the both of you address that? Mom, I'll start with you.
Well, first of all, if it was about the money, we could have signed anywhere else, you know. So the feeling, like I said, that I had when I was around these people and they treated us like family, I just felt like we belong here. So that has nothing to do with it.